Hello, subscribe, share, comment, all the above. I left my window down just a crack. Just a crack. We had blowing snow all day yesterday. So now my car has blown in snow. Well, it's better, but gee whiz. I didn't even think about that. So I started off this morning to finish up the great stuff out of the door so we can finish building the door sill. And my fingers are really cold and I keep bumping them on the concrete and it hurts. And so I've decided that I'll just work inside the mudroom where my wonderful heater is doing its job and I can work on painting the walls. We had bumped into a problem where there's not a stud in one place there should be, so the sheetrock is a little wibbly wobbly. And we were really kicking around, or I was kicking around the best way to deal with that, because if you paint over something where the wall is wibbly wobbly, you're going to have an instant crack. So I decided that I'm going to find a creative or a fun piece of trim to put there over where that seam is, so that it's going to crack, but it's fine because it's a planned crack, and that's a lot easier and pretty effective instead of tearing a whole wall down to add a stud, or even make a big hole in a wall to add a stud. I just want it to work and not show the cracks. So I think I'll be able to accomplish that by just putting some kind of trim, decorative trim there, so it looks like it's done on purpose. When you're gonna paint a wall, prep is so super important, because anything you miss, any little defect you leave in, will be very, very obvious when you're done. So if I sit down for about 3 seconds, little Miss Buttercup feels like she needs to lay in my lap. And if I've been busy all morning, I'm not even kidding, she lays down, closes her eyes, and crashes. Well, then I feel guilty and I can't kick her off my lap, and then all productivity seems to cease for half an hour to an hour, unless I fall asleep, and then we're done for the day. So I spent a ridiculous amount of time prepping and finding holes, messing with screws, all this other stuff. And then I start painting and don't bother to do the trim first for anybody that paints. I don't know. But then once I got started, then I remembered that bare sheetrock, it kind of drinks the paint. So I guess it's kind of good I didn't do the trim. Now I can do a base coat and the sheetrock is absolutely just drinking it. And then I can go back and trim and then do another nice clean coat. And also, I don't know if you could tell with how fast the video went, but I took a few extra moments with my sanding and just ran the sander over the sheetrock. This sheetrock's been here covered with paint for at least a year, possibly more. I have no idea how long it's actually been here. And so I was kind of thinking that it might be a course of wisdom to just make sure that the paint has less dirt and oil or whatever might be built up on it, dust. And so I just sanded it real quick, which is definitely adding to it, absorbing more, but that's fine. I'd rather have to buy more paint and it look very nice when I'm done than fuss with it any more than I already am, just because it's peeling off because there's weird stuff on the wall. hundreds, probably thousands of videos and YouTube channels explaining the proper ways to paint. I'm not even going to cover that because there's plenty out there. Let's just say I didn't do it perfect, but it came out okay. So, oh, Buttercup, come back here. No. Oh, you menace. So, pretty much every time you've seen me leave this room, it's because I'm chasing my dog, because she's a menace. Made a lot of progress today. Probably would have made a little more. My dog wasn't a menace, like she stole my little press and seal. And let me get you closer here. Okay, so I put press and seal over the paintbrush. Oh, and Buttercup stole this and then took the little white plastic thing and ate it. Actually, she doesn't eat stuff, she shreds it. So, it's gonna make this a lot more awkward. So anyways, anyhow, I turned it off so you didn't have to hear the crinkling forever and ever. It works really, really nicely to, just gonna hear the crinkling anyway. It works really nicely to cover stuff and seal it really, really well. So you're not washing out your brushes and everything completely between uses if you're going to be working several days in a row like I am. And I just seal it completely. Works like a charm. Just want to make sure it doesn't freeze. Because, you know, paint's not supposed to freeze, it separates and gets wonky. Kind of want to do that same, have that same idea. So like this room gets really cold, so this is sealed the same as last time, and I just won't leave it in this room so it doesn't freeze solid. And I did the same with my little paintbrush, and I'm completely covered in paint. I am completely incapable of painting without getting covered in it. But the room looks much better. I've got one more coat I'm going to be putting down at this end. And the next thing is shelves. It's funny because this started off as a simple, let's paint real quick and put shelves up. Right? That's how this little project started in my head. It was relatively simple. But then little things kept happening. Like that corner up there has a ton of water damage. We have a new roof, so it's all old water damage. But it has sand down all kinds of weird lumpy spots to make it look decent. And up here, exact same problem. You can kind of see where it's still lumpy. I'm not terribly worried about it. And then this, finding out that all that underneath was rotted out, was a frustration. So yeah, pretty much everything that was supposed to be simple in here has been super complicated. However, I have to say, I'm very happy with how fresh and clean it looks, and I can't wait to get the next step done. Buttercup, are you supposed to be on the table? Get down. Get down. Come on, get down. So I just came in here a minute ago, and I keep these burned matches in this little doodaddy here. And I come in, and I see her standing there looking very suspicious. And so I say, Buttercup, what are you doing? And she lays down and folds her little hands and just lays down. No being sassy, just lays down. And I thought, well, that's suspicious. So I picked up her little paws, and she literally had laid down on top of these to hide them. So there you go, folks. Buttercup, you're naughty. Naughty. Buttercup, can you sit? Can you sit pretty since you're so naughty? You can't sit pretty today? Okay, sassy pants.